大家好，你们好，我是李艾斯, and I'm here to talk about Chinese language materials. So I've gotten a lot of questions about the type of Chinese language tools that I use to study Chinese with. And I'm just here to kind of share some of these different tools that I use to study Chinese. I guess I'll tell a little bit about my story. I started off studying Chinese in college. I took an introductory course, Chinese like level 1, and of course the textbook for that was the Integrated Chinese. Many of you may be familiar with these series. I'm just going to show you here. This is the Integrated Chinese textbook. This is for level 1 part 2. When I started, the book was a little bit different. It had like a more black or blue and kind of just plain blue. There were no pictures. It was just drawings and a cover. A lot of the pictures were black and white. This one is the workbook, and as you can see, it kind of has like a lot of speaking and dialogue in there, and much of it is in pinyin. And then you move on to like integrate. This is the textbook part of it actually, and I put my name on there and everything. But this has a lot of Li You and Wang Peng. You know, they were really popular. This is actually Gao Wenzhong, and I think that's his sister. Yeah, the story is really interesting, which got me really into learning Chinese because I could follow along, and it was kind of like a little drama that you read about their lives, and it made it a little bit more personable. But that's the first Chinese textbook I had. I also invested in a dictionary. This is the Oxford Chinese Dictionary, the mini one. It's a pocket-sized one. It's really small, so you can just kind of keep it with you. And, you know, it just has the pinyin as well, so you can kind of look up words. It's really convenient. I like to have a lot of audio tools as well when studying Chinese. So I have the Chinese 30, or the Language 30 series, which is actually like an educational cassette teaching series, and it had a little booklet inside. I actually used the booklet, and I have it somewhere else. But it's a really useful tool because if you actually have access to a cassette, these actually come in CD form too. But I started off with cassettes, so that was actually really great to have the repetitiveness. The next thing I had was actually the let's see, this one is called the Penton Overseas Learn in Your Car series. This is actually CDs. Yeah, so it comes with the CDs, and I found this was really useful. Also, Pimsleur is a good idea because some of those phrases are not as useful. Like they teach you things like, say to the woman, how do I get to this, you know, do you want to come to have a drink with me or something? And it's not really that useful when you're in China, or if you're learning Chinese with Chinese friends, or in the classroom. You're not going to want to learn how to ask that. But this teaches you individual phrases, and that's why I think it's good. Plus, it's nice to hear audio to get used to the tones of Chinese. This was one of the first books I bought on my own. Your First 100 Words in Chinese. And let's see, this is actually, it's Passport Books. Yeah, so it has flashcards in the back of them. I've taken mine out like a long time ago. But this also has the Chinese characters. And as you can see, the characters are there, and like little exercises in there matching. And it is 100 words, and it can be useful because it's things like table, chair, TV, 桌子, 电视, and things like that. That's a really great tool. Another one, I would recommend making use of your local Confucius Institute if you have one. This is one that I actually bought in China, and it's kind of like a teaching material that's for learning English, which can sometimes be helpful if you're learning the other way around, because it's actually sometimes a nice way to learn things. Yeah. Let's see, another one that I got in China as well was, let's see, the Hanyu what is it, the Hanyu Zhaocheng textbook. And this was really, really great. This is actually a sticker I got from Mount Wudong, so that's not actually on the book. So this is what it would look like without the sticker. I'm trying to cover it. But, so it's actually a little bit more advanced. So this was actually my reading book, and there was a lot of vocabulary. So as you can see, a lot of those words, the highlighted ones were ones I didn't know, and then I would have to study those, and I could look it up in the dictionary to really help learn the different Chinese phrases. Another kind of rudimentary textbook that's similar to Integrated Chinese would be Jiayou. It has like audio CDs, and it has exercises in there, and it's actually pretty much the same. It's a lot more grammar heavy, so I recommend this book for a lot more learning of Chinese grammar. Then, this is also another tool for more advanced Chinese study, would be Common Knowledge About China, and this is Li Shi. So it's more about history. And when you open it up, of course, it's got lots of great illustrated pictures on Chinese history, and on one page they'll have, like, this is Zhang He, who was like a famous, like, scientist and everything. So it's got the Chinese page here, and it's all in Chinese, so you can just read about that. But then on the other page is the English translation, so it'll kind of give you, if you're going through and maybe every other word you find yourself struggling on, there is the translation on the other side. So that's helpful as well. And this is, of course, even more advanced. I actually, from my local library, I got this book, which is all in Chinese, and they're actually basic stories. Yeah, this is, just got the library. It used to be checked out a lot more, but it's got some really simple stories in Chinese, but it's a little bit more advanced because there are no translations. The book is all in Chinese. There's no English at all, no pinyin. But this is just something you can start to look through paragraphs like this, and it'll help you kind of get used to the reading styles of Chinese fiction. And this is a lot of short stories. And then another thing I find, like, another helpful tool for Chinese would be, or any language really, flashcards. And these were like some of the first flashcards I ever had. It shows you like the stroke order where you go like 1, 2, 3, and then you kind of just follow that, and then it helps you to count too, so you know how the characters should look. This was really helpful in the beginning when I first started studying Chinese, but then when you really get into it, having maybe a Chinese keyboard, or like where you can or text, yeah, when you can text, that you just write the pinyin and then the character pops up. So I find that, I'm not going to say writing is not that important, but I feel that technology nowadays makes it so that, there's ways for you to get around it as long as you kind of got the tone right and you know what you're trying to say. But, yeah, so those are all of the tools that I use to help myself learn Chinese. And once again, my kind of background with Chinese is I studied it for about 3.5 years at my university. I had never taken any in high school or anything like that. And then I got a scholarship to go to China, and I lived there for a year studying Chinese. But yeah, now I kind of work exclusively with a tutor now that I'm back in the States, and I just kind of work that way, to kind of using these same materials just to introduce myself to new topics, new words, and keep the Chinese fresh in my head until I visit China again. But yeah, so those are all of my tips, and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and put your comments right there, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. And alright, 谢谢你们，再见。Ni hao. Okay, so I completely forgot to add into the last part of the video some of my favorite things, actually. This is my all-time favorite Chinese dictionary. This one, I first would check it out from my local Confucius Institute, and it's just called, okay, you can't see the words there. It's like Hanyu 800 Z. It's like, or 800 words. So, it's a really great essential dictionary, and it was like the first one I would always use. Then, I eventually found it myself. And, it's provided by Hanban. So, if you could maybe just like look online for Hanban, dictionary. It's really great because not only does it have the words, it has like the stroke order, the traditional and the simplified character, and then it's also got a little sentence in there with the pinyin, and it's got more than one way that you could use that character. And that's why I found this one so essential, because it just gave me really great ways how to use the sentence grammatically. And if I found a new word, I'm like, oh, I don't know that word. You know, jia. It's got more than one way to use it, and it shows you, you know, what's the correct way grammatically. Then this book is amazing because in the back, it has all sorts of appendixes where you can look at, you know, just Chinese history. It's even got like the basic rules for stroke order, and you know, it's just writing Chinese characters and what stroke should go where, and even the stroke meanings, like this one here. And if you've got this stroke in a word, then you could probably guess. Oh, what am I doing? If you've got one of these strokes in the word, you could probably guess at the meaning, or like, you know, how the water kind of symbol in Chinese characters, you can know it has something to do with raining, sea, water, something being wet. And I found that that's really good at guessing what a character could mean sometimes. And it also has some history in there too. Talks about the different dynasties. It even has like Chinese measurements and weights. It's got so much information. I found that this one was kind of more of my favorite than the the pocket dictionary. Also, this is another great one because it's a visual dictionary, and you could find this at like Borders, or actually Borders doesn't exist anymore. Oops. Oh, you can find it at Barnes & Noble or Amazon, and you know, just anywhere books are sold or bought online. So yeah, it's just got every type of character you could possibly, or words. It's just a picture dictionary, so you know, sometimes maybe you're a more visual learner, and this helps more. Then my all-time favorite tool was something that my first Chinese teacher got me, which is kind of within the same category as the 800 words, but it's like Hanzi 900 kind of words, everyday Chinese. And this one is a kind of like interactive book, and it has a pen that goes with it, and so you just kind of go in there and then you click on whatever you see, and it'll tell you how to say it in Chinese. It's amazing. I love it. But yeah, so those are the other tools, and thank you so much, and remember to subscribe and to like, and bye bye YouTube. 再见. Do 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 do. All right. Okay, you guys have a good one.